Hello guys, this is Jay Dooman here, aka JD or Jules if you want to call me that. And this video is gonna be a little different today. I don't want to make more videos like these, but this is something I have to bring out to the light because more people have been talking about this, but I don't think enough people, heard about this story, and I'm gonna be the one who's gonna tell this story. This story is about Gia the Dark Angel. If you don't know who she is, she's a YouTuber. She voice acts over Sonic on comments. She also is an artist. She draws stuff, Sonic related stuff. Um, Everything I will say will be in a Google Doc for you to view. I will put it in the top comment and in the description. That's really what I have to say about her. Please bear with me here. This is my first time doing this. So I might stutter here and there. I'll try to explain it the best I can. I'm not a good storyteller. I just want to get that out the way. So let's get started. So I first met Gia around May of 2025 this year. Bryce introduced me to her. Shout out to him, by the way. Good friend. Other than that, we started talking in the VC. All three of us. Maybe somebody else was in there too. I forgot who it was. We were just talking normally, introducing ourselves. And then that's when the conversation like start shifting. She started talking about her past and stuff. You know, at the time, I was kind of like sympathetic. Cause like it was just so many. She was just telling me so many things about her. And yeah, I did kind of fall for that. Like, yeah, at times I am kind of sympathetic for people. That's a lot for a human being to take in, to experience during their childhood. So we started talking here and there, kept checking on her and stuff. It was before I knew anything bad about her past or anything. We were just, talking. What I started to realize about her is that in her Discord server, she does have a vent channel and she talk about, her day-to-day problem. It almost seems like everything thing for her. Like she always uses the vent channel, and it seems like she uses it more than the general channel. And I'm like, what is going on? Like it kind of annoyed me a bit after a while because like some of the stuff she was saying, like I didn't think it was necessary to talk about since it was like small things. But at the same time, I did try to do my best and give her advice here and there. Un- uh, until this particular situation that didn't even involve her, it was somebody else. So what happened was, uh, all right, I was at work when this happened, so bear with me here. So I was, working. It was kind of getting slow for me. So what I did was I got on my phone for a little bit, checking my notifications and all. Then I seen one of her friends start venting in the channel, and it caught my eye because it's something I I didn't want to like come to on Discord. And so what I said was, what did I come to Discord to open Discord to with a the curse face emoji, you know, as a way to express how I feel. And then there goes Jill talking about that was respectful of me to send her an image like that. Mind you, she sent GIFs on her own expressing how she feels, and yet I can't even set a simple image of how I feel about any situation. And I tried to explain her that how can I not express myself through a picture? and then she tried to make it seem like put examples in it of how people use it. And I'm pretty sure nobody used it like that. I don't know why she put an example like that. We're not even talking about that. We're talking about, you know, this situation her friend is in right now. She was saying like I wasn't being serious about the situation and that I need to delete what I said, but I didn't do it because that's how I felt. And then I tried to tell her that what about the GAL she sent? She said hers makes more sense than mine. And then I kind of wrote like a paragraph saying like this is a genuine action, and if you don't see it that way, then fine, and don't go back and forth with me about it. Just know I'm gonna stand by what I say because that's how I feel. And I kind of just left it there like that. She didn't talk back after that. That was until I got home and went in the VC about it. She was talking about she still talking about how that was still disrespectful while I'm trying to tell her that was my genuine reaction. And while in the visa, I did get, kind of frustrated with her. Well, no, we both did. And then that goes long. KC, at the time, they wasn't together, but now they are right now. But he was trying to, calm both of us down. She talked, I talked, and that came to the conclusion. I calmed down afterwards. You know, I decided to listen on some music a bit to calm me down. Okay, and then what I decided was I should apologize to her friend because I think she's the one deserve an apology. While she was talking to me, she said she started crying because of the situation. Mm, I think because her friend was crying, but to me at the time, I didn't think she had the right to cry about it because it is not about her. It's about her friend. You know, I don't think she should have been crying about something like that. So after that, I decided to, you know, make sure to call a friend the next day and apologize to her about it. Since she told me she and her friend was crying about it. So boom, that was the next day. I went to VCG was there too. So and somebody else I don't exactly remember who it was, but I apologized to her, and then I was talking to Gia. No, while I was talking to her friend, that's when Gia come in and said, "Drop the act. You're not fooling anybody with that act." And I was like, "What act was I putting on?" Because that was a genuine apology. She just, going by her word instead of just trying to hear me out, and that kind of annoyed me. But at that time, I was kind of calm because I didn't have time for her. I just wanted to apologize and leave, and that was exactly what I did. And then I decided to apologize to Gia too, since she was so, mad about it. I don't know. She, I don't know. She accepted, but she accepted the apology, but like she's sounded rude about it. So I just, had it there, left it there, and I just left. And then I think a day or two after, she decides to unfriend me, block me, and kick me from her server. And I was like, why did she do that? Quite literally apologized to her and her friends. So I don't see what is the problem. And then I started to talk to Long KC about it, and he was talking about KC told me that I kept bringing up the situation, and I was confused on that because that was the second time I even mentioned this situation, and that was the day after when it first started. So I was kind of confused on that. I told him I apologize to both of them. I don't know what's the problem is. And then he went on and said she'll give me a 2 week break and I'll be let back in the server. So boom, after that, it was really a week later after he let me in. I don't know if they got the time wrong or something, but I was let back in a week later. And then after that, I was on like bad terms with her. Kind of just started examining like spying on her server and such, because I didn't really want to talk to her after that. But of course, afterwards, she still, started venting about stuff. I didn't really say much. I said stuff here and there, but I didn't say as much as I did usually did. Fast forward to about later in the week, there was another guy who was kicked from the server too, because she assumed he called her, mental. I'll put the screenshot up. Then that's when I realized I wanted to look back on the people who wasn't in the server anymore and see, if they had like the same story as mine. So I did so. And all the stories were like the same story. And then something else came up that I didn't know about. That Gia is a alleged pedo. Yep, you heard that right, an alleged pedo. I was like, whoa, this was bad enough, but this just got worse. So they sent me a Google Doc. I made a GC. They sent the Google Doc. I viewed a little bit of it and I was, surprised because, I didn't want to believe it, but, the evidence is all there. Now, there's something else I want, to mention here is that I talked to one of Gia's exes. His name is Robin, aka Valentine. Or they broke up and stuff. Cause like their relationship was, short to me, and it kind of caught me off guard that it ended, so early. And then he started explaining to me why. Another person I wanted to talk about is Luna. Gia always bring this girl up to anything. She's the one that Gia keeps talking about, saying that she always bringing people to, message her, harass her and stuff without bringing any evidence, and she just thinks that she's the one who causing everybody to, come in her messages, harass her and stuff without backing anything up. While I talked to Luna on the other hand, confirming like Gia, Luna actually showed evidence against her. She has a Google Doc too about it. I'll actually put that too in the description and top comment on everything she did. And yet she admitted it previously, but doesn't want to admit it now for some reason, which is weird to me. I guess she want to get people on her side, make her seem innocent. In conclusion, I think Jid is a self-entitled narcissist who just want attention for herself, who's who wants attention for herself and likes to blame others while handing evidence out to make others seem like they're the bad guy while covering herself up to make her look innocent. With all due respect, I do want her to, change and get help, but it seems like she doesn't want to do that, thinks she all fine and dandy, when clearly everyone thinks something, is wrong with her. I'm going to end the video off with Robin's call. explaining everything, how she's manipulating Casey and other stuff besides that. If you can, please share this video to others so more people can know about the situation, so more people are aware so they could stay away from her. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video. No need to like or subscribe or anything, just share the video. This is Jay Dooman here. Jay Dooman out.
When I first heard it brilliant, nothing, no, basically nothing more to say about it. Damn those uncut feelings. And, well, and I took it to Sonic Expo in August, so I abandoned Austin, drive up to Montana, and then back down south towards Georgia. It was a really hard place to get to Georgia, up to Iowa, and so forth. And from Iowa, just basically just plugged it all the way down. So, like, and we got there, yeah, and we're having a good time, went over to, when we went down, we'd seen all voice actors and everything, so it's all, it was all brilliant, and then I fall ill, I fall sick, with this esophageal hernia which ruptured, and that's when everything just started to get returned. She was literally saying, oh, how can you worry about yourself getting home? I'm like, how can you worry about yourself and nothing getting home? I'm like, you know, in your country of origin. Whereas I was completely out of it. I was nowhere near my house, my home, whatsoever. And it's, we had fun, we even went to Six Flags whilst we were there, Six Flags over in Georgia. So it was, even then, have fun, because that's all that I wanted to do, just have fun. And it's like, I've been told, I'm leaving her, been told I'm doing pretty much everything but looking after her, but yet, I've been told to make sure she eats, been told to make sure she drinks everything but the normal bodily functions should be doing anyway. She says she's that broken, the bodily functions aren't corresponding. It's those neurological impulses that were making her not eat, drink. But I did everything that I was instructed. I've done everything on earth, basically done everything to try and keep her happy, keep her sane. And then, with everything that was going on, we literally stopped her carnival game whilst we were in Six Flags trying to win a massive stuffed animal. Obviously, to no prevail as it was rigged. So once we'd, yeah, so once we'd done that, we'd moved further up, gone into like a DC universe kind of thing. Went on, me and my friends went on there. She wanted to stay out because she didn't know what it was. So, one of my other friends stayed. One of my other friends stayed out. Whilst me and another went on it. I mean, it's something that's, but it was when that day, everyone went like the Six Flags weeks. We just literally wanted to just have fun, chill out, relax, and once the day finished, it was just a case of get back off on the 19th, but I couldn't because I was advised not to drive. I was advised to just rest. And that was after I'd vomited and had streaks of blood in, which is what the esophageal hernia was. Because that had ruptured, had to go to the ER in the Queen's Memorial Hospital down in Atlanta. They took bloods, they did everything, they even diagnosed me with hematemesis, which is vomiting blood. But it was an incorrect diagnosis. So, me fearing for my life, sending him the prescription and everything, it wasn't enough apparently. And my insurance, I had to do everything. I had to do everything off my own back, which meant everything turned out to be more expensive. So as I'd started getting everything packed up to come home, that's when everything was due to return. Not only that, I spent quite a fair bit of extra cash. I spent another, give or take, around $400-500 just to stay there an extra night or two. Is that an extra night stuff? Yeah, an extra 2 nights because we'd left on the 21st. That's literally how that turned out for there. I'd gone to, I've pretty much gone everywhere. I've literally taken it to ground and I had to get myself to the airport. Once I got myself to the airport, that was it. Well, it was when I was at when we were at the ground. Because I had to leave because I had no choice. But she didn't take too kindly to it because when we having to leave, it put me in bed. You like the idea of me having to leave to the point where I wouldn't return. It was just absolutely awful. I mean, I didn't want to leave her, but due to the fact of everything, due to the fact of what I mentioned with the ruptured esophageal hernia, that's what caused me to leave in the first place. It hurts now than what it does, than what it did then. It hurts more now. Because every time, and I mean every time, it's literally just one thing and one thing only, and that's just that one section playing in the back of my mind. Me fearing for my life is apparently not your fault. You just wanted everything to go her way when that's not life. Because she said she'd been on her own for God knows how long. I don't know exactly how long, but like I say, I didn't want to leave. And I had to, I had no choice. That's probably the thing that's caused everything. Yeah, that's when she started saying all that in bank chat and in her server. And with everything that was going on as well at the time, I mean, I can only do so much for one person. And I can only do so much for it's like I was forced to do it pretty much. To stay with her until my flight, but you've got to be there before, which really means $100. Don't think she still doesn't speak to this day because she's never been on a flight. made me feel like that for quite a while until I told her exactly why I needed to go. She knew I didn't want to leave. She could see the look on my face. I didn't want to leave. Knew I didn't want to leave, but I had to. So I moved on. Tried to try to forget her, but I couldn't. So, so things ended up the way they were. Pretty much. Strange. And it's all because of one single person. So, there's quite a fair few people now around the United States that hate me. And yet somehow that's my fault. As if to say, you've done X, Y, and Z, we blame you. But the problem is, it's not only her that caused the upset because the voice actors then got involved because of a certain someone that used to be in her server. They blamed me for pretty much everything. When they shouldn't have done. But this is the thing, somebody blatantly lied about what was actually going on. Yet they seem to think it was perfectly fine for them to do so. That's all because they couldn't even get a storyline. They couldn't get the reason behind why I'd done what I did. I had to be there running 5 hours early, that's 6 hours early. So I got there before checking, which was 6 hours. So I got there, did everything right, and what I had to do and everything, so it was very, it was all rushed, there was no chill or anything. I had to get to the flight from Atlanta, which took 7 hours to get home. So once I got back home, I went straight to the hospital. That's when they diagnosed me with a ruptured esophageal failure. And this was in my hometown as well. And yet she still doesn't know to this day because, quite frankly, what she did is unforgivable. You missed out crucial information. You missed out crucial information for people to hate me, which is something you never ever do. Because where I'm from, somebody tries to help you out, you got shot them in the back. And that's what she did to me. She stabbed me in the back, which is something I cannot forgive her for at all. And that's the one thing I hate above all. When somebody does that to you that you know, and someone that you actually care for, hurts. You got my friends involved in, what she said. They were hating me for it. So as soon as I got that diagnosis, that was it, I told them. They didn't hate me after that. And time goes on, here we are present day. She manipulates Kyle, she does. This is his words on what he told me. Asked him why he went here. These are his words, I did it out of fear. I'm paraphrasing. But he says he did it out of fear. And that's nowhere, that's not a relationship you need to be in. It's been done out, get out of it. But there's only one person who can do that, and that's him. Considering, considering the fact that we tried to tell him that doing something out of fear like that is grounds on manipulation. He completely understands and he knows where we come from, but without having lost. Because at the minute he's genuinely well and truly lost. He's lost in something that shouldn't even be, that he shouldn't even be lost in. But he is. But like I said, he's got to open his eyes and realise it himself, because if he doesn't, he's going to be too late when he does. Because the person who I'm dating now is Kyle's ex. And then the only thing he can say to me once, when I start dating her is, I didn't know you had feelings for her, congrats. But to me, because I love him like I love Kyle, like he's my brother, that's why I don't want to see him get hurt. Because there's a very high chance he's going to get hurt. With me studying geopsychologically, there's something there she's not telling anybody, not even her payee. And he's going to get hurt as well as her payee. But the amount of, because he knows quite a major majority of it about it, and about her, but he doesn't know the full detailing. Considering he doesn't know the full detailing, that's what makes it worrisome. I didn't say anything to her what I found out because there was a potential chance of, well, I mean, there were a potential chance she could have been lost forever. Full time. I would have lost him forever. I asked Kyle if he wanted to come to the UK at some point because he's on about going to Universal and he says yeah, but he asked Gia. He wanted to tag along. I'm like, mate, I asked you for a reason because I don't want to fucking see her. I genuinely want to see her again, even though I don't. She's lost someone who she can truly call a friend, and someone who used to be her. All because she backstabbed me. But yet the worst part is about that is that she can't see she's backstabbed me. You know what I mean? So it's very difficult. A very difficult situation. Just don't know what to do. We can't do much. And as every day goes by, I feel like losing him. And that's why. But that's why that's why I do what I do, because of how much it hurts. Like I say, I've already mentioned it, but I hope he comes to his senses. Because if he doesn't, he's going to be lost. Well and truly. He's that brainwashed to the point where no one will want anything to do with him.